So I'm really not in the mood this week to get into a heavy discussion about politics and how things should change, even though I know they're not even going to. But I'm also feeling like something I haven't done since the start of the pandemic is just done some straightforward jokes about what's going on. And I've been teaching a lot of joke writing classes, and I've got a new online comedy writing masterclass coming up. So don't go looking for any serious meaning in any of what I'm about to say. They're just jokes, just stupid jokes. Relax, enjoy, laugh, and I'll see you next week. Whenever I hear that Boris Johnson is going to make a statement on TV, I get really nostalgic for the days when that just meant, don't bother watching Have I Got News For You Tonight. Recently, a security guard working for Dominic Raab was fired after leaving a gun on an airline seat. A fellow passenger commented, "After that, I just let him have the armrest." Boris Johnson has complained that despite his £150,000 a year prime ministerial salary, he struggles to afford a nanny. I mean, this is good news, really, for nannies who've evidently recently received about £100,000 a year pay rise. British expats in the EU have been warned that if we don't get a Brexit deal sorted out by the end of the year, their bank accounts will be forced to close. They must be gutted. They must be thinking, oh, if only we'd elected a government with close ties to the world of international banking. The new Bond movie, No Time to Die, has had its release date set back until such time as the title isn't quite so much on the money. The government is threatening to electronically tag burglars as a way to cut reoffending. I mean, it's bad news if you're a burglar, but it's even worse if you get burgled by a burglar with an electronic tag who's recently tested positive for COVID, because then you've got to stay indoors for 2 weeks without a telly. The UK's chief Brexit negotiator, David Frost, recently said that the outline of a deal could be seen, presumably in the same way that the outline of a human being can be seen through the police tape after they've been brutally murdered. The Scottish MP Margaret Ferrier has defended her actions in driving across the country after testing positive for COVID by saying that the illness makes you act out of character, and I think that's pretty convincing because remember, it made Boris Johnson stay in the same bed for several consecutive nights and Dominic Cummings give a shit about the well-being of his family. Scientists say that the Great Barrier Reef has now lost almost half of its coral. If it goes any further, they'll have to rename it the Mediocre Barrier Reef. Sir James Dyson is selling his £36 million Singapore flat after a really tough financial year. Apparently, in 2020, people just don't need something else that really sucks. More than 500,000 people signed a petition demanding that MPs stop receiving subsidised food, although in fairness, most of us would also have signed one insisting that they stop receiving any sort of food. Boris Johnson has insisted that he totally understands child hunger, presumably from that time when both nanny and chef were away at the same time, and when they got to Claridge's they were literally out of specials. There have been no end of problems with the track and trace system. One of the main ones is that no one seems to be able to find Baroness Harding, so we can fire her. A few weeks ago, Kanye West was spotted out shopping in London and concerns were raised that he'd only just flown over from the US and was flouting the quarantine rules. Piers Morgan commented saying, "Who does he think he is?" He thinks he's Kanye West, mate, and furthermore, he's right.